If you live in the UK, your energy bill is probably one of your biggest monthly stress points. Over the last few years, we've watched prices double, and in some cases, triple. But in April 2026, millions of households across the country are going to see their energy bills drop. Because of this upcoming drop, a massive debate is happening in living rooms right now. Should I wait for prices to fall further? Or should I fix my energy tariff right now? To answer that accurately, you need to know why the bill is dropping in the first place. Spoiler alert, it has very little to do with the global price of gas becoming cheaper, and everything to do with a massive accounting shift by the UK government. Today, we are going to look at what's actually happening to your money behind the scenes. Why the current system is penalizing people who use less energy. And why fixing your tariff even when a price drop is coming might be the smartest financial move you can make this year. First, we need to talk about the Ofgem Price Cap, because it is one of the most misunderstood policies in the UK. Visual, a glowing blue shield icon hovering over a house. The shield suddenly cracks slightly. Most people hear price cap and think it limits the absolute total amount you can be charged. It doesn't. If you leave your heating on 24/7 and keep every light in the house on, your bill will still be astronomical. The cap only limits two things: the maximum price you pay per unit of gas and electricity, and the daily standing charge. From April 1st, L'enseigning Archelot, this overall cap is falling by about 7%. For a typical household, that translates to a saving of roughly £117 a year. But before we celebrate, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the standing charge. This is a fixed daily fee you pay just to be connected to the grid, even if you use zero energy. Over recent years, this charge has crept up significantly. It covers the cost of maintaining the wires, cables, and dealing with suppliers that have gone bust. The frustration for many UK residents is that no matter how much you turn down your thermostat or switch off your appliances, you cannot escape the standing charge. It disproportionately affects low-income households and people who live alone, because a large chunk of their bill is just the fee to have a working meter. So, if standing charges are stubborn, and global energy markets are still tense, why exactly is the price cap falling by 7% in April? Usually, your bills go up or down because the wholesale cost of buying energy on the global market changes. But this April's drop is essentially a government administrative change. For years, the cost of the UK's environmental and social policies has been secretly baked right into your monthly energy bill. Things like insulating lower-income homes, supporting vulnerable pensioners, and building renewable energy projects were paid for by a levy attached to your electricity and gas rates. Now, the government has decided to take the majority of those costs off your direct energy bill and pay for them through general taxation instead. Why do this now? It's called rebalancing. The government desperately wants people to transition away from gas boilers and petrol cars towards electric heat pumps and electric vehicles. To encourage this, electricity needs to look significantly cheaper than gas. By moving these levies, which were heavily piled onto electricity, into general taxation, electricity becomes instantly cheaper on paper. They haven't magically made energy cheaper to produce. They've simply moved who is paying for the upgrades and where the money is collected. For you, the immediate result is a lower monthly energy statement, even if you might indirectly pay for it through your regular taxes. This brings us to the practical impact and the big question: what should you do about it? Right now, millions of Brits are playing a game of roulette with their utility bills. You generally have two choices: a standard variable tariff or a fixed tariff. If you live in England, Scotland, or Wales, and you haven't switched suppliers recently, you are likely on a standard variable tariff. This means your price is governed directly by the Ofgem Price Cap. You don't need to do anything to get the 7% reduction in April. It will be automatically applied. However, variable means exactly that. The price cap changes every 3 months in January, April, July, and October. While it's dropping in April, there is zero guarantee it won't spike back up in October when the weather turns cold. On the other hand, a fixed tariff locks in your unit rates and standing charges for a set period, usually 12 months. Your monthly bill will still fluctuate based on how much energy you use, but the price you pay per unit is protected from market chaos. With a guaranteed price drop coming in April, fixing your tariff right now might sound counterintuitive. Why lock in a price when you know it's about to get cheaper? The main reason is long-term price certainty. Wholesale energy markets remain entirely unpredictable. The UK relies heavily on imported gas, meaning our bills are at the mercy of global events. Any disruption in the Middle East, a colder than expected winter in Asia, or maintenance issues at Norwegian gas fields can send wholesale prices rocketing overnight. If you fix your tariff now, you might miss out on a few pounds of savings in the spring and summer when you aren't using your heating anyway. But, crucially, you completely protect your household from unexpected price spikes when your usage is highest next winter. Energy suppliers buy their energy months in advance. Currently, many suppliers are offering fixed deals that are priced below the upcoming April price cap. They are anticipating the drop and pricing it in. So, securing a fix now could actually save you money both now and later. Lou, how to choose the right fix? If you do decide to fix, you need to be careful. Do not just blindly accept the first offer your current supplier emails to you. Visual, a magnifying glass scanning a contract, highlighting the words exit fee in red. First, always use a comparison site to see the whole market. Second, check the exit fees. Many fixed tariffs come with a penalty if you decide to leave the contract early, often between £50 and £150 per fuel type. If you lock in and prices miraculously crash later in the year, you need to know how much it will cost you to break the contract and switch to a cheaper deal. Third, look closely at the standing charge on the fixed deal, not just the unit rate. If you are a low-energy user, a high standing charge will erode any savings you make on the cheaper units. While a £117 annual saving is welcome news, we have to look at the big picture. Even with this drop, energy prices remain drastically higher than they were before 2021. The UK's energy grid still needs billions of pounds in upgrades, and global gas markets remain incredibly fragile. Visual, the presenter appearing on screen, or a bold text graphic saying the verdict. Personally, I think the peace of mind that comes with fixing your tariff right now heavily outweighs the few pounds you might theoretically save by floating on a variable rate. The market is simply too unpredictable to gamble with your winter bills. The shift in April offers some breathing room, but it's not a return to the cheap energy era. But what do you think? Are you planning to lock in a fixed tariff now? Or are you going to ride it out on a variable rate and hope prices keep falling? Let me know your exact strategy down in the comments. If this breakdown helped you cut through the jargon and understand your energy bill a little better, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more calm, no-nonsense guides on navigating the UK economy. See you in the next one.
So that the reality the Scott Ride bus keep going. How you manage your bus guest? Tell me in the comment. Thank you for watching.